Hey everyone, you're listening to Creature Records and we're at Radar Fest with LASTELLE. Would you just like to tell us who you are in the band and what it is that you do?
Cool. Hello, my name is John Joe. I play guitar in the band LASTELLE.
Perfect. So how does it feel to be playing Radar Fest this year?
Wicked, it's our first time here, so we have not been to the venue before. We're sat here in a nice fancy hotel lounge, which is pretty cool. So so far been great. Looking forward to playing, looking forward to having a wicked day. The rain's not been great, but we're inside, so it's fine.
It's kind of what you get with being in the UK, I think. So just for anyone that might not know, can you tell us a little bit about the band name, where it come from, any narrative that you guys have?
Yeah, of course. So the band name specifically was comes from a film, if you know, the Studio Ghibli films, the film Nausicaa and the Valley of the Wind, and it's one of the minor characters from that. So the character that triggers the story of the whole film, but is a short little amount of the film. Her name is LASTELLE, so that's where the name comes from.
We are big fans of Studio Ghibli, so yeah, that sounds amazing. So I just want to talk about your new EP coming out in September. So you guys have done a Volume 1, Volume 2 is now coming out. So did you just want to maybe tell us a little bit about kind of why you did Volume 1, Volume 2, and the narrative around that kind of thing?
So it's kind of a weird thing with the fact that us as a band, for me particularly, I'm an album guy. I put on albums. I'm not really a playlist guy so much. So I've always liked the thing of sticking on a long release. But I think these days there's an element that has kind of lost its place so much in the current listening trends. So we decided to split what is an album's worth of music into 2 EPs, which is why it's Volume 1 and Volume 2. So they're still kind of the same thing, but they are separate. So, and then we're releasing it as one vinyl, as both Volume 1 and 2 together on one vinyl, so you can listen to it as one whole thing. So it's kind of, the whole point was to kind of just take advantage of the best of both worlds in a sense. And also it meant that we could do, kind of treat them as 2 different halves and look at them a little bit differently. Because I would say that Volume 1, which came out last September, is more, if someone was to go, what does your band sound like? The songs on that are more, I would say, a good representation of our music as a whole. Where Volume 2, I would say, is a little bit darker, and it's a bit more experimental. So the track that we just released most recently, a couple of weeks ago, called Bitter Seeds, is the heaviest track that we've done as a band. And nothing on the first volume is quite as intense as that track is. And then the songs we've got coming up down the line, they're more atmospheric, a bit more ambient. So it goes on a different kind of tangent as well. But this EP it's all the subject matter, and I think the vibe of it is darker. So I think it's whilst our whole thing is we deal with heavy emotions and things like that, and the first EP obviously deals with that as well. This, I think, just deals with the slightly darker side of it, and it just feels a bit moodier. So yeah, they do have their vibes, definitely. Yeah.
I think that's quite a good and quite smart thing to do. You can kind of dip in and out of both sides of it. That's really good thing. Also wanted to touch on your single Tired Eyes. Mm-hmm. You guys did a little bit about kind of the voice note messages, voicemails and things. So just a little bit kind of behind that, and how that went, how that kind of made you and maybe your fans feel a bit more connected, or anything that kind of came from it.
That was a real eye opener for us. We'd spoken about doing the idea of it for ages. So I guess if anyone's watching that doesn't know what we did a thing. But prior to the single release and the music video release, you could phone an anonymous number, leave a voicemail, just confessing emotion, things you had never been able to say was the kind of the thing behind it. Things you wanted to say but couldn't, and you could leave it anonymously. We'd have no idea who it was that left it. And then it would appear at the end of our music video for 24 hours, and then it would be gone forever. So that was kind of the concept of it, and that meant that people could just use it as I can say whatever I want about someone to someone that I was never able to, whether it was a lot of them were family members that they'd lost, or friends that they'd lost, or relationships that had broken up and they still felt certain ways and never got a chance to have that last little bit of cathartic release. So the whole point was that, and we were absolutely blown away by how many people got involved with it. And poor Adam that edited the music video had to go through and listen to all of them, edit them, put them all in, and I think that was a lot to deal with for him because it's pretty heavy stuff. But it was amazing how much people got involved with it, and we were a little bit nervous that or maybe it's a lot to ask of someone to open up like that about heavy subjects as well. I totally understand why no one would want to do that, but I think for us it was a really gratifying moment that people would trusted us enough with that information to open up to us, and that our music could obviously touch them in a way that they could feel like they could do that with us, which was awesome, which was really, really nice. And that, I think, like you said, it managed to bring them in a little bit, feel a bit closer to us. They got to be part of the release in a way that I think hopefully was quite meaningful. So yeah, that was a really cool, really like surprising success.
It's certainly something that I've never heard of any other band doing before, but like, and again, like I said, in a very cathartic kind of way. So yeah, it just sounds like it would have been an incredible experience for kind of both sides. Just also wanted to touch on, I saw you guys kind of did open up kind of like a Discord community as well, and I'm just interested because especially since COVID and stuff, using things like Discord or Twitch and things has been a lot more something I've certainly noticed growing a lot more in kind of music related communities. So just wanted to kind of touch on maybe what that's been like for you as a band and your fans, and maybe growing that connection again in that kind of online sense.
It's been exactly that. It just means that there's a closer space that the people that really want to be involved can be at a closer level. So we use it for putting in we'll do like photo dumps of behind scenes of music video shoots, because Rich and Adam in our band have their own video production company, so we do our own music videos, so we can show them the behind the scenes of how it works and stuff like that, and give them a little bit more insight and see a bit more of the human level as opposed to the brand of the band, which is nice, because I feel like once you become a real close fan of a band, you want to know more about the people involved and what goes on behind the scenes, more than just the music and the music videos and the physical merch and stuff. So it allows us to have that little connection with the people that really want to be more connected, and show them things that they would be the people that would care most about seeing. And it gives them a little bit of exclusivity. They can feel like they're being more involved than the average fan, and it means that we can provide more for them as fans of the band, for people that are really fans of the band, which is nice. They can get advanced access to X, Y, Z when we can coordinate that, and then get a little more behind the scenes things. They can ask us questions personally, which is just a nice little connection to have with people. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Kind of one of the last questions is I just wanted to look on Coping Without a Cure, hitting 1 million streams on Spotify. Must have been a really big milestone. How was that for you?
Oh, it was wicked. Yeah, I mean, there's you get all those little milestones as you go on as a band, and when we first hit 1 million streams of everything, it was like, and then then our first single, our first one release, so the EP that was on was the first EP of ours to hit 1 million streams. That was. And then when an individual song did it eventually, it was like, wow, that's there it is. There's the 7 figures, and it was one of those things that you can't help but compare yourself when you're in anything, let alone being a band, So when you're looking at your peers and things that obviously we've got nothing but respect for and love dearly, but you're like, oh, their bloody songs hit 1 million and ours hasn't. And then when we finally saw it, it was like, yes, we're in that crew now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it feels great to have a song up there, which is just it's quite gratifying in a sense, where it's like, cool, people are, especially because that song is not, because you see a lot of songs that come out and they boom, and then they sort of stay at a similar level, where that's been a real steady kind of growth. That song came out in 2021, so it's on 2020, a while ago, and it's just grown steadily, which is nice. So it feels like it hasn't stayed where it was. Some songs come out, then they slowly creep up over time in the background, but this one's been it's kept up with our more recent singles. It's obviously a track that's been met with a long-term liking. So which is nice. People are coming back to it, which is great. So
even better. So just as a finisher, is there anything else you kind of want to signpost or just say to some fans, just as one last thing?
Well, the big thing I think is that we're on tour in September doing our EP release headline tour around the UK, which is the biggest headline run that we've done as a band. So that's definitely something that we want people to come to. So worth saying that one. But we're really, really looking forward to that, which would be wicked. Tickets are available now. We're back in Manchester actually for that tour. That's the big thing, got to say that. And then apart from that, we're just really happy to be here today and happy that sat down with you, having a good time. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. You've been listening to Creature Records at Radar Festival.